This is our guest bathroom, and unfortunately, an old pipe sprung a leak inside of the wall, allowing water under the tile and under the tub, which meant we had to demo the tile, take out the tub, and generally make a massive mess of this bathroom. Did it just break?
It sure did.
But on the bright side, my wife has gotten pretty handy at transforming old outdated spaces, and she's decided this is the perfect opportunity to give this bathroom the gorgeous makeover that she's had in mind for years.
That's so crazy. It looks so good.
So join us for the adventure as we give this bathroom the DIY makeover of our dreams. Our guest bathroom currently looks like a construction zone, and as excited as we are to see this thing transformed, we know we have a ton of work ahead of us.
She's a beaut. Needs a little love.
I mean, when you look at this, you just think, gosh, this is going to be so much fun.
It's going to be fun to have it not be a mess. It's been like this. I feel like we're coming up close to 2 months now. All right, the first step in any kind of big project like this is demo. Today we're going to be focusing on removing this tub and shower surround here, which if you've followed us for a few years, you know that we've done this before, and it's usually a little bit more time consuming than it looks on first glance. So time to get the gloves on and get started. But first, as you can see, I'm gonna need to clear this out. These are the wall panels from out there. We had to pull them off to let the wall dry, but I'm hoping we can piece them back together and salvage them. We've been holding on to those and hoping that they're in good enough shape to put back. We're gonna be gluing some of the smaller pieces back together. All right, next we've got to pull these plumbing fixtures off, and I'm a little bit nervous because sometimes when they've been there for a while, they get really stuck. So let's hope this isn't one of those little tasks that turns into like a really big task. Do you remember the last time we pulled one of these things off?
I do. I don't want to remember it, but I do remember it.
That's a little embarrassing, sorry.
1, 2, 3. Back for attempt number 2 here. And we're back for attempt number 3 here. Really kind of demoralizing, you know?
It's a little challenge.
Okay, I just didn't have the right tools.
Before we actually start removing the tub and shower surround, I need to remove all of the shower fixtures, and so far this is going pretty smoothly.
Oopsies.
Well, things were going smoothly. What's happening?
I have no idea how I'm gonna get this out. It's like disintegrating. Normally there's like an X at the bottom of the drain part and you can like grab that and to twist it. I mean, it's like I just broke it off with my finger.
Maybe we could smash it?
That might actually be the best option. So the drain piece here screws into the PVC pipe that comes from the ground, and so that's why I can't just like rip that out. It's screwed in, but I don't know if it matters if I damage the PVC pipe because we are gonna put a shower here instead of a tub, and so we'll probably have to do some work, or we will have to do some work for the shower pan anyway. I'm gonna leave it for now and we're just gonna start demoing all this part and then we'll work on the tub. Oh, this is heavy. So far, this is easier than the other 2 bathrooms. I feel like maybe that's dangerous to say that at this point. Those were so hard to get like the whole surround off. It was glued very thoroughly.
I started by removing the smaller edge pieces of the surround first before moving on to the larger panels.
We seem to have a long history of very messy, very destructive bathroom demos, and this project wouldn't be any different.
It's already broken, so I'm just breaking it the rest of the way. I tried.
I gave a good effort trying to get these large panels out in one piece, but quickly realized that was near impossible, and there is no clean and easy way to do this other than just breaking them to small pieces.
I'm gonna get a utility knife. I tried pulling it off in one piece. It's already broken, so it's pretty much useless now, so might as well do this the easier way.
Snack break.
I just needed a quick pick-me-up. I'm gonna call a plumber. I'll let you have fun in there.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know what that means. It's time for demo day, baby! Gearing up, gloves on. Hey, these are sweaty. Gross. All right, tool of choice, Thor hammer. You know, I just have a feeling like this could go really well or this could go really horribly. Oh, no lanza. I feel like I should get out of here and clear a path just in case I need to run. Oh no, this thing. Baby? Darling? Alright, Andrew's still busy. We're gonna try a different route. Being in a knife, it's always a great idea. Alright. Let's give it a go. Oh, come on, you little sucker. More scoring! And after a lot of hard work, I realized that my dreams of getting this piece out in one piece were next to impossible. I've got it this far, but it's not far enough. Unfortunately, I think there's only one option from here, and that's to smash it to smithereens. Cover your ears, this could get loud. Oh crap. We may have punched a hole in the sheetrock. It's not good.
Whoa! Are you about to karate kick it? Maybe don't karate kick it.
I wasn't going to, but that's a great idea.
No, because I feel like you might cut your ankle. I mean, I kind of want to karate kick it now that I look at it.
Is it okay that I poked into the drywall on both sides?
Yeah, we need to pull that drywall out anyway. Just
I'm stuck currently.
we'll break it.
Nice.
Just break it in half. Here, wait.
Got it.
You gotta give me a warning so I can cover my ears. Wow, good job. This looks so good.
So after finally getting this big piece off the wall, I was ready to get everything out of the bathroom with a little extra encouragement from Andrea. You know what I'm not looking forward to? Cleaning all this up. And that's it for tile on the surround. Woo!
Really quick, we want to say thanks to Chomps for sponsoring today's video. When you have any kind of dietary restrictions, or even if you don't, but you're just trying to eat healthy in general, finding good snacks can be really tricky. Chomps have been a staple in our snack stash for years now. We pack them in our kids' lunches, and anytime we're traveling, I make sure to have a good supply of these packed so that when we're driving, if someone gets hungry, or if we're waiting in the airport, we have a good healthy snack on hand. Our whole family loves them, and I feel good knowing that they're getting a good source of high quality protein made from grass-fed and finished beef and venison and antibiotic-free turkey, and they have 10 to 12 grams of protein per a stick. And as an added bonus, it's a mess-free snack with no crumbs or sticky hands when our kids are finished, which is really nice when you're on the go. It's all sustainably sourced, has no sugar or harmful ingredients, plus they're free of the top 9 allergens. So if you haven't tried Chomps, I highly recommend them. You can check out the link in the description below to learn more. And if you have tried Chomps, I'd love to hear what your favorite flavor is. We definitely keep a good supply of the original sticks on hand, but I think my favorite is the jalapeno beef. And with that, let's jump back into today's project. The next step in the process was to start bagging up all of our mess so we had more room to work.
One bag down.
Next, I'm gonna go ahead and try and pull off a little bit of the sheetrock. We are going to be turning this into a shower, like I said, and so we're gonna be replacing the sheetrock anyway, so it didn't matter if it got damaged. Maybe I just need a break from this part and I wanna pull sheetrock out, I don't know. This is actually kind of fun.
For now, I just pulled the drywall off of this section of the wall because I knew that we would have plumbers coming in the near future and I wanted the space ready for them.
All right, before we move on to tackling this bathtub, we need to do some cleanup, and the safest option is to bag it all up. So we need to break it a little bit more so we can fit it in bags. A lot of trash companies are just like city trash. They won't pick up construction trash, but if you bag it, they will pick it up. So that's why we're putting it in these woven contractor bags, which if you've never used these before, they're really good when you have like heavy stuff, sharp stuff, or just anything that like, you know, this would have like ripped right through even the heaviest duty plastic bags. So these are what you get.
Were too big, so I went ahead and broke them apart into smaller pieces to fit them in the bag, and this made me feel even sillier for being so careful trying to pull these off the wall in one piece.
And this just goes to show that sometimes you gotta play a little whack-a-mole to get the job done.
How's that?
Good. It's time for lunch.
You said it, sister.
Oh, I was thinking I could cook lunch while you get these to the curb.
Oh. How do you feel about progress so far?
I actually feel like this round was not as bad to remove as the upstairs. Was this back wall too bad?
It wasn't bad, but the bottom edge had so much silicone that it made it basically impossible to get it off in one piece. Shall we part ways?
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss you.
Where'd that come from?
I don't know.
While Andrea made a breakfast
Do
lunch,
you want bacon, babe?
Yeah.
I grabbed a wheelbarrow to carry these massive heavy bags down to the curb.
Go to the front.
Demo is messy business, but thankfully it was a beautiful day outside.
Oh, absolutely gorgeous day. Round two. Oh boy. Oh, not sketchy at all. Santa's sleigh!
And after getting this heavy stuff loaded up, the wheelbarrow treated us to some beautiful music.
Just love that sound. Let's get some lunch. Mi amor.
And after a quick lunch break, we were ready to get back to work.
Feeling refreshed.
Yeah, nice little lunch break.
So we've got like an hour and a half till we've got to get our kids. So hopefully we can finish this. I think that's the goal for today, is finish this, but then we can't have a plumber come until next week. And so I don't really want to take out like our sink and our toilet yet. There's just no reason to.
Is there anything else that you would like to say?
I don't know. The bathtub got chipped. That's what I want to say. And so it's going. We hurt a whole lot of feelings when we broke a bathtub last time. All right, so I'm gonna start taking this out. It's already got some decent sized chips all on the back of it. I don't think there is any human way that we could get this out ourselves. It probably weighs like 1,000 pounds.
I started by removing the front skirt piece and then also the little extra piece at the back of the tub. At this point, I remembered that I still hadn't successfully removed that drain piece, and so this tub wasn't going anywhere.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
A quick search on YouTube revealed that there is in fact a simple tool to remove these kinds of old corroded drains, which meant
We need to go to Lowe's.
Oh, baby.
A Lowe's trip, a Lowe's trip. Every single day it's a Lowe's trip.
So why do we need to go to Lowe's?
Well, I did what I recommended and I asked Google what to do if you have a super corroded tub drain that no longer has anything to grip onto. And of course, they make the little tub extractor tool. That's all we need. All right, I've got the tool. The directions say to tap it in lightly. Got our little ratchet thing. Hopefully this works.
I had hoped that this would be a really quick solution, but this tub drain was quite stuck in place.
I felt like maybe I could see it moving a little bit that time. It's working! What is that from? Oh my gosh. Goodness. Look at it! Ew. There you go. A tub drain removal tool. We're ready to try and pull the tub out. I'm gonna see if it's too heavy. I mean, we might be able to get this outside ourselves.
We had high hopes of getting this tub out, but soon discovered it might be more than we could handle.
That feels laughable. Wow, mine feels optimistic. I don't know.
So with our powers combined,
Amy boy's coming in.
we tried to get this massive heavy tub out of our house.
I feel like we're carrying out a dead elephant or something, you know?
Felt pretty easy to me.
Dude, my booty.
Feels like a football workout. And literally within a split second, Andrea had jumped straight into design mode.
How high? So it's like a shower system, you know? And I can raise the top part up. This part is flexible. It's like, how high would you put the hand things? Like right here? It's not a shower, it's just, it's not a bath, it's just the shower.
I feel so honored that you're asking me, but I really don't know the answer.
After getting off of the design bandwagon, it was back to work, where Andrea was stuck at the back of the garage because all of the flooring was in the way and she couldn't get her saw out.
So I've got a couple of 2x4 supports I need to put in the wall because the plumber is going to attach the rough-in valves or whatever. So this can then attach and have something solid to be attached to in the wall. So, you don't break it off the wall. All right, I've got the 2x4 supports installed, so we're ready for the plumbers to come and just fix that mess.
And with everything in place, we were ready for the plumbers to come in and give us the
So
download.
you gotta either come on this side of it, or you're gonna have to be completely on that side of it.
The next day, we were ready for the next big project in this bathroom.
All right, today we're gonna be focusing on building an arch for this shower. I just wanted something to kind of break up this long room because there's so much space over here and there's not a lot we can really do with this middle space. And I feel like doing a slightly enclosed shower will just help this bathroom feel more size appropriate. And it'll be a pretty feature.
On this particular trip, we were buying materials for the next project and Andrea was feeling a little self-conscious.
Everything's a mess. Well, not everything, but it's
It's a mess. That's all there is to say.
gonna be a mess for a little while.
So where are we going?
Sonny, what kind of question is that?
Yeah.
A Lowe's trip, a Lowe's trip. Every single day it's a Lowe's trip.
For this arch build, I really only needed a few 2x4s and some longer wood screws, and so this was a relatively short trip to Lowe's this
That's
time.
it?
And after paying, we were ready to load everything into the back of our minivan truck. Turn this thing into a truck. All right, could someone explain what this breakfast burrito is doing under here, guys? Hey, wait, do you have any food for me? So arriving back home, we were ready to unload everything, drop some stuff on our toe, and discover a new problem.
We've got to figure out how to get the saw out of the garage. I was just thinking about that because it's blocked in by the pallets of flooring, which are mostly empty now, but. All right, before we go back out and we actually start making cuts and building my little walls and then arch that I want to go right here, I need to figure out how far out I want these little walls to come. And so I'm actually gonna use this back wall here to tape it out. You can see I've already tested a couple of widths. I'm gonna play around with a little bit more. This just helps me really get a visual, like an exact visual on what it's gonna look like so I can feel really confident with that decision. Right now I'm not feeling so confident. All right, so I have my tape set at 1 foot right now, but I want to see what it looks like just a little bit smaller. So I'm gonna go ahead and measure and mark like 10 inches. I'm gonna move my tape over. All right, I'm gonna do a little sketch of my arch because I think I know what I want, just like a real gradual kind of, you know.
Arch.
I don't know what the right word is, but I'm gonna draw it just so I can see it, and I don't know, that'll help me when I like want to figure out the correct height and stuff. I like it, look how pretty it's gonna be. All right, 10 inches it is. That wins, I like it. It's just enough of a wall. Now we're ready to go build this thing.
Wait, what happened here?
I'm waiting on my cameraman.
Should we just lay out for a while? I've got a proposition. We dookie on work and just lay out here and drink sparkling waters.
It's tempting. What's wrong with our peach tree? It's like leaning way over.
Babe,
Well, I hope it didn't.
I'm trying to relax here. All right, here we go. We're doing it. So,
Well, we already got the saw from over there. We had to carry it over all of this, so this is less, you know, dramatic than it was.
so about that third garage clean out video.
This doesn't count. This is like flooring, but we're in the middle of getting all of our floors replaced right now. We'll explain more about that in next week's video, but we've run into like a massive problem with...
No,
So-
don't tell them.
Okay, oh, sorry.
They'll have to watch next week to
Yeah,
find out.
anyway, I'm not being dramatic when I say it's a massive problem. So we've had to pause some of the flooring, but they're almost done with all of it. That'll be after the bathroom. It's not really as messy as it looks. That's what I'm trying to say, is this is all flooring stuff.
That sure was a long way of saying that.
Yeah, it feels heavier than normal. All right, so if I want my wall to be 10 inches wide and both of my 2x4s will add 3 inches total, then I need to cut my spacer pieces to 7 inches.
Sure.
I need to get a pencil. I'm just doing so good. Now I've got all my little spacer boards cut, and these are just gonna go in between my two long 2x4s for the wall. So I'm gonna go ahead and set them in place, add some screws. I'm gonna do that times 2. This is really simple. It's kind of nice building stuff like this that's not like furniture where it needs to be really pretty and like where you can't see the screws and stuff. So it's a nice change.
Nice.
It's the kind of things you learn to do.
Beep, beep.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, so I wanted to bring a wall in here and just make sure that I could stand it up straight without having cut my side pieces. I'm like, I think I should, but just in case that doesn't work for some reason, I would rather just have a mistake with one side than have to take 2 sides apart. So here we go. But now I'm realizing I've got a little blob of glue or something on the floor, plus this little wall hook that needs to come off. So I'm gonna get that out of the way first.
But this little blob of glue proved to be a little more feisty than anticipated.
Ow!
Not going according to plan?
Yeah, you wanna try this?
Sure. Come on, you little sucker!
Whoa, you made that look so easy.
Demo Dean, see?
Yeah. Okay, moment of truth. Uh-oh. What the? What is happening? I don't know whether to get this out or just hammer it in place, you know? Hammer, hammer, hammer until you get every dollar you deserve.
Comment below if you know what that ad is.
Alright, it fit with a little bit of, you know, convincing. I think there's a patch right here on the ceiling. Just tell the texture is way different. And so it's like barely lower. So I'm gonna go ahead and go build the other wall, and then I'll get these all level. I'll make sure they're both like the same distance from the wall, and then I'll screw them into the studs in the wall.
Round 2.
Round 2.
Same thing?
Same thing.
Show your skills. Whoa.
Oh!
Look straight. Whoa. What's that?
I just missed! Oh my gosh. That was such a weird feeling. I'm tired. Okay. Looks good.
It's amazing.
Alright, next I need to figure out exactly where I want these little walls, and that's partly dependent on where the studs are on the wall behind it. So I think I have that about figured out to where I can hit a stud on both sides, but they need to come this way a little bit, and then I need to make sure it's level and straight before I screw it into the stud in the wall.
How we looking?
We're good. Alright, I got it where I want it, and it's got a stud right behind it, so I'm going to go ahead and screw it into that stud. I think I'm going to do one more screw like in the middle. It probably doesn't need it at all, but you know, it's not going anywhere. Alright, this one's good. Need to get the other one now. First, I need to figure out exactly how far this one is placed out, and then I'll mark that on the other side, and then I'll get that one attached. So this one needs to move about 3 inches that way. That's about where I need it. I just need to get it, make sure it's level. Now that I have these firmly installed in place, I can measure my width here and we can start building this arch. Gosh, I love that mirror.
What?
I feel like we need to get a little shot of this. This is what keeps me going. It's like dress up for interior designers, but look at this mirror. This was like our splurge item, but now that I see it in person, I'm like, it was so worth it. Look at this wallpaper. It's gonna look so good. I stole the cabinet from our laundry room just because it's a similar color. That's not exactly what I want to use, but I'll do some kind of taupe color. And then our shower tile, that's dirty, but so pretty. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then the sconce, look, so it'll be like the sconce. The gold, the brass looks so pretty on the wallpaper.
Yeah,
I
can totally see it.
It looks so pretty. I feel so thrifty. I'm saving this like $90 on plywood because I'm just going to use the plywood that came on our flooring pallets.
Wow, you are such a smart gal.
I don't want to get my workbench out because we would have to move all of our flooring that's in there. And so I'm going to use these.
Okay. DIY at its finest. Goodness.
Alright, so these are my 2 plywood pieces that are going to be both sides of my arch because I'll need it on the outside and then on the inside of the shower as well. Now I need to figure out exactly how big I want like the circle to be for my arch.
Okay.
And I'm going to play around with some measurements and just see what I like the most. But I'm probably going to have some kind of scrap board here and I'll put a nail or screw in it with my yarn, and then I'll just use that to kind of trace a curve from this corner, you know, that'll go like that. And then once I get it figured out on one board, I'll just trace it onto the other.
Nice.
How's it look?
Nice.
Maybe we should go test it inside before I
Sure.
Make a second one. I feel like I probably need you to come hold this for me so I can look at it. Wow, that looks really nice.
You like?
I do. You look nice too, babe.
Oh, thanks.
Golly, this bathroom's gonna look so different.
Can you decide quickly? I'll get the arm burn going.
Pull it down.
So now I've just got to trace it onto my second board and we'll repeat that cut. Alright, next I need to cut several 2x4 spacers that'll go in between my plywood because I want my thickness of this to match my 2x4 little walls that I built. Alright, I'm gonna try and clamp a block in place here that will act as like my guide to where I don't have to measure each one of these little boards. That way this stays here and I just keep moving my 2x4 up, cut another piece, cut another piece, cut another piece. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Oh, I got sawdust in my eye. Ow.
How's the eye?
Fine. I couldn't get it out.
Once I had all of my spacer boards cut, it was time to screw them all into place.
Alright, as I was putting this together outside, I realized it would be easier to put it halfway together and attach it to here first, and then screw on the second side of the arch. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to get very many screws from this into my side studs. I think I'm going to get a couple of screws started before I hold it up there, and then I can finish them into those side studs.
This feels like only a job a married couple could do, you know? How do I always end up in this position on all of our projects?
I'm sweating, man. Looks pretty good, huh? We did it. Time to spare.
That's it. Amazing. Good work. All right, where are we going?
We're breaking things up. We're going to Home Depot.
What?
Because we need more of those shiplap panels, and I don't think Lowe's has those.
Do you think Lowe's is gonna have her feelings hurt or what?
No, Lowe's doesn't pay us.
No, they do not.
They should.
But this led to a very important question. If Home Depot pays us, would we forsake Lowe's?
Yeah, they're both close to our house.
Just letting you know, Home Depot or Lowe's.
We could probably make a Home Depot song, and by we I mean you. I can't make a Home Depot song.
But that's the thing, we already have a Home Depot song. Hit it. Home Depot. Home Depot. Every single day it's a Home Depot.
It kind of just feels like we're making fun of Home Depot with that song.
It's a little lackluster. It could use some work for sure. It's kind of a Frankenstein operation. It really needs its own treatment, but we just didn't have time for that. I got it. Thank you for this.
Once we got inside, we headed straight back to where the shiplap panels were, and this is definitely a job that's easier with 2 people.
This definitely took a bit of doing, but there's no better feeling than a job well done.
To save time, we had them cut down all of the panels in store. In half at 48 inches.
And after some speedy cutting, it was time for a speedy escape.
Hey, don't you bang those up. You're fired if you do.
Your boards are in good hands.
That's the way all this stuff smells.
You're an interesting character. I love the smell of pine in the morning. We quickly turned our minivan into a truck. Give it the magic treatment. And once again, our kids had a few surprises for us. Guys, what are we doing back here? A DuckTales, woo! Mary Poppins.
bins, the tales of Robin Hood, Chick-fil-A trash.
And then it was time to switch places for a bit.
Would you like a finger in this shot or no?
Sure, yeah, throw it in there.
Where's
That's your specialty.
Oh my gosh, you're doing two at once. I'm trying to like film and move this at the same time. This is gonna be really wonky filming. I think you're in all the way back there.
Come on, you look cute.
Are you talking to me?
No.
I like this whole like filming thing while you do that. It's kind of fun. I feel like I could like mess with you and make jokes.
Even just mediocre quality shots, I might consider it. If we end up with a finger in 75% of our shots, can't do it. I'm sorry.
You're doing such a great job.
Thank you. We're back in position.
I feel like the only thing going through my head is
Oh, who else grew up with DuckTales? That's what we watched.
And we're back.
Once we got home, we unloaded all the materials, and it was already starting to get hot outside.
Progress was happening inside, which was really exciting, but it also meant we needed to change our plans up a bit.
Sometimes when you're doing a renovation project, there's just a lot of moving pieces, and so we're doing our best to make the most of the time.
So our tile guys are actually working in the bathroom now, and so we're kind of having to rework our schedule, and we're gonna go to Lowe's to get some more of the trim pieces that I need because we cannot install the shiplap right now. We have a chance of rain for the next few days, so I'm kind of like, how are we gonna do this? But for now, we're going to Lowe's.
A Lowe's trip, a Lowe's trip. Every single day it's a Lowe's trip.
So what are we coming back to Lowe's for again?
So I need crown molding because I want to do crown molding up at the top, and then I need some kind of trim board to put on top of the shiplap, that'll sit on top. I also need window casing because I'm gonna add trim around the window in there. Right now it's just sheetrock. We got like 10 minutes because we gotta go get our kids, so we've really gotta we've got less than that, so we can't film.
Go
We'll
now.
just say, surprise,
Don't tell me
this is
that.
what we got.
Get back here, you sucker.
Leaving me in the dust.
And we don't mean to brag, but we were kind of on the way to a new world record.
And time.
Unbelievable. It has been 9 minutes.
That's why we park here.
Once we got home, it was time to unload and discover this week's first curveball.
So I'm out here unloading, and Andrea's inside with our tile guys because we discovered yet another monkey wrench.
Unfortunately, our tile guy let us know that our drain pipe was about 5 inches too high. This meant that we needed to have all of that plumbing that we just finished redone. After we got a plan in place to fix this whole plumbing situation, I went out to the garage to get my tools so we could move on to the next phase of this bathroom renovation. But first, I needed to stop and admire the progress so far.
This is looking really good. It looks so different in here. This is like a little bit mind-blowing. I'm like, oh yeah, this is that same bathroom, huh? So while we were getting supplies for all of the shiplap and trim and crown molding yesterday, this was happening here. But the part I didn't think about with that is we can't have too many workers in this small bathroom at one time. So we bought all of our supplies and then we had to pause. So we're playing a little bit of like musical schedules. We just try and get in here whenever they're not working on the shower. So we got a little bit right now. We're gonna try and get as much of the shiplap done as we can before we have another plumber come to try and make some repairs, to try and fix what the first plumber did. So the first thing we're gonna do is get our old vanity out of here just so we have a little bit more room while we work.
I built this little vanity shortly after we moved into this house, and although it is still a great vanity, I want to do something different for the new space.
And we did our best to break a leg.
Oh,
Did it just break?
it sure did. Whoa, looks a lot bigger now without a vanity in the middle of the room. So I have a few more things to get off the walls before we can start installing the shiplap. Alright, next I need to pull these little countertop backsplash pieces off the wall, hoping they're not glued too thoroughly, but the good news is we are putting shiplap over that, so if I tear the drywall up, it's not really that big a deal. Oh! That is heavy. Oh my gosh. It's going. Oh.
Nice catch.
I was gonna let it fall, but then I was like, I don't know. Maybe not.
After removing the backsplash pieces from the wall, I went ahead and removed the rest of the old baseboards to get them out of the way.
It's looking really good. All right, what's next, darling?
All right, we have just a little bit of time, like less than an hour before a plumber comes to change some of this up. So we're just gonna get as much as we can done. But first, I'm gonna go ahead and mark the height of where I want my shiplap to be. And then I'll make a level line around the room. I will never say level and plumb wrong again. Man, I had so many people tell me level is horizontal, plumb is vertical. So if you didn't know that.
For Pete's sake, get it right.
I just want it all straight, just how it's. A lot of you let me know, thanks. We're gonna make a level line around the room and I'm gonna mark my studs and then we'll move on from there.
And it's moments like these where you realize you're working in an old house.
Holy cow, look at this curve in the wall. Look, I can stick my finger in there. Oh my gosh, my shoulders are burning just from that. All right, have my lines marked on this half of the room. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark where my studs are above that.
I personally have found that marking all of my studs before I actually start installing the shiplap makes the installation process a lot quicker and run more smoothly.
All right, I'm gonna start with the piece that I'll slide right behind the toilet there, and then I can go that way and that way. So I just need to measure for this one outlet because I think that'll hit this piece, and then also where the water line comes out of the wall, I'll need to notch just a little bit.
After measuring where I would need to make my cuts, I wrote them down on a piece of paper and then went and grabbed my first piece of shiplap.
All right, I went ahead and marked where I need to cut out for my outlet and then the little water line down there. So I'm gonna get the hole started with a really large drill bit first, and then I'll use my jigsaw to cut those out.
Nice.
After making my cuts, I slid the panel in place and crossed my fingers that it would fit.
Nice.
Looking good.
Looking good.
Next piece, and I'm doing this one because it's a whole piece and that's easy. But then I'll focus on figuring out how I want to cut around that. It'll be behind our cabinet, so it doesn't really have to be pretty. And I mean, there is no pretty way to cut around that pipe that's coming out at a curve like that.
Let's focus on one thing at a time. How about that? Giving it the old checkaroo. We good?
Good, man. Looking a little cleaner in here already.
After installing my first couple of panels, it was time to tackle this section with the plumbing coming out of the wall. And once again, I measured and then marked on the panel and made cuts with my jigsaw.
All right, next I'm gonna go ahead and mark where this is. I think I'm just going to cut basically like a giant hole around it, and then I'll slide the panel over it. Again, it doesn't really matter how pretty it is. It's gonna be behind my cabinet, but I do want this stuff accessible, so that'll work.
And this series of cuts felt a little more artistic.
Another one down.
So much cleaner now with that hole covered up partway. Next, I'm gonna pause from the shiplap. Well, I'm not really pausing from the shiplap, but I need to add trim around this window because this piece, I want it to butt up and hit the edge of my trim and not go behind it since this stuff is thinner. So I'm gonna measure and then I'm gonna go cut my trim outside.
But just as we were heading outside to make our first cuts, our new plumber showed up to help us find a solution for this drain. Thankfully, the plumber was able to give us a couple of different solutions, and we went with the cheaper one, the compromise being that our drain wouldn't be perfectly centered.
And although we were grateful for a solution, it still was an extra expense that we weren't expecting.
About an hour later, he was able to finish the work and even had some unexpected good news for us.
It actually worked out
Nice.
being perfect for you guys, you know.
Hey,
33 3/4, 33 3/4, so it's pretty close.
If you're interested in starting a YouTube channel, then be sure to sign up for my free newsletter where I share tips and advice on how to create a thriving YouTube channel. The newsletter is free. Just click the link in the description below and use my 8 years of YouTube experience to your advantage.
With plumbing finally taken care of, I was ready to get started on the window trim.
The rain stopped and you can see where the water puddles. The mold in our playroom is an ongoing saga, and we'll update you really soon as the story unfolds.
This blade on the saw is just so big that I don't like holding it when I have it at like a miter, and so I usually just use my clamps. For these two side trim pieces, I just have one miter cut for the end, and so whenever that's the case, I like to cut my mitered cut first, and then I can measure from that, because it's just easier to measure and then be more precise with my cut on a straight cut versus like making my straight cut and then trying to get my mitered cut to be the right distance. It's a little bit trickier. Can you see this? These are like fogging up so bad. It's so humid. Alright, I got my trim pieces cut outside. I'm going to try putting just a nail in the bottom of each of my side pieces so I can then fit my top piece and just make sure everything is fitting correctly before I put a bunch of nails in. And hopefully this will go really smoothly and I don't have to like go making more cuts or anything.
Thankfully, everything fit perfectly in place.
Window trimmed. All right, now that I have the trim on my window, I'm ready to measure for this piece because like I said, this one's gonna butt up to my trim, which is the reason why I wanted to get that attached first. So I'm gonna go ahead and measure and then mark on here. I'm just gonna need to cut off a little bit and then cut around where it'll go under the window, just barely there. I kind of want to put curtains on this window.
Babe, can you get focused?
I'm focused, I'm just...
I decided to make all of my cuts inside because number one, it's been raining outside all day, and number two, the bathroom was already a mess and needed to be vacuumed anyway.
How's it looking?
Looking good?
After installing this panel, we ended up having to hit pause and switch spots with our tile guys for a bit.
All right, our tile guys are back, and so we're gonna have to pause for a bit.
Again.
I can't really finish this little bit of trim on this wall because they're gonna go ahead and add the sheetrock around the outside of the arch for me. They said they would do that. So I'm gonna leave the shiplap and trim for this side of the door and the window to do later. But I did decide that I want to shiplap the ceiling. We're gonna try to see if we can kind of get it out of here and not be in their way while they're working on this. We'll just see if we can make it work. So let's go get that first panel. We'll do like a dry fit, see if it even fits.
I believe in you.
I don't even know like the best way to do this.
But as quickly as we got started, we found ourselves in their way and needed to take an actual pause.
Kind of a back and forth waiting game, yeah.
Yeah, we could go get some drywall patch stuff.
And of course, we decided to take along our trusty sidekick. So what are we getting?
We're gonna go grab some drywall patch kits. Since I don't need to patch the ceiling, there's not that many repairs to do.
Yep, now I know why they do this. Right here.
Normally we would say no, but our playroom is inaccessible.
All those toys have been quarantined.
somebody has a birthday coming up next week. Asher, how old are you gonna be? 7. We were just watching a video from 6 years ago today.
And tell them and then
Cute little fat baby Asher. He's the sweetest, happiest little baby.
Yeah, how did we get to the age where our youngest of 4 is now almost 7? Like, that is mind-blowing.
Are you old?
Yes. Ish. And we're back. Don't hit that truck.
I'm worried.
Don't hit the truck.
Once we got back, we took a quick peek at progress in the bathroom, and it was coming along nicely. In fact, things were going so well that Andrea decided it looked really fun, and so she jumped into the mix as well.
Since I was on the opposite side of the bathroom, I wasn't in anybody's way, and I figured I might as well go ahead and make some progress of my own. We had several holes in the wall from old light fixtures, and these patch kits made it really easy to patch them up myself.
Progress was happening on both ends of the room, which was exciting, and then our tile guys had a few questions for the DIY wife.
We gotta learn how to do home stuff.
A lot of...
I don't know.
Just
I think I was
project after
motivated because
project.
we didn't have money to pay other people to do it at first. I was like, I want it done, and so I don't know. I ask a lot of questions too. And so I would find somebody like at Lowe's, like an older guy who's like been doing, stuff for like 50 years, and they like to talk about it, and I would ask questions.
And as Andrea was finishing up the drywall patches, simultaneously our tile guys were finishing up the shower pan.
Look at that. Alright, what's next, kid?
I'm gonna start putting shiplap on the ceiling. I am gonna use glue for this though because, gravity.
See, you got your work boots on again.
Once I had the glue applied, it was time to put the panel on the ceiling, and this was definitely a job for 2 people.
Hey, this is really heavy. Good?
Yeah. I'm back in my familiar position here. Ow.
Am I seriously like out of nails?
Baby doll. Shoulder burn. I'm about to retire.
This was not proving to be a quick and easy job.
Ow! Ow! You think it's gonna look good? You are making me so nervous. Your heels are hanging into there. Get out, get out.
Hey, the best part about this next panel is you get to measure and cut a bunch of holes in it. That's going to be amazing.
I'm so close to not having to cut it that way. Dang.
But not close enough.
But not close enough, so let me see.
For a cut like this, I find it really helpful to draw myself a little map on paper just so that I don't make any silly mistakes.
That way. 13.5.
After I had all my measurements written down, I took the panel outside to make my cuts.
Back to the DIY workhorse.
The sawhorses.
DIY sawhorse, that's what I meant to say.
That's not right. At least I figured it out now before I started cutting. Why is this like hurting my brain? Because it's like it literally needs to go up like that. Oh wait. No, I think that is right. Goodness gracious.
You're
Okay.
losing your mind over there. I think my wife is going crazy. She's talking to herself and following treasure maps.
Quiet. I don't understand why this is like so confusing.
And at this point in the process, I was starting to question Andrea's sanity.
I'm like picking it up, putting it on the ceiling. Like, should I go like remeasure in there before I actually make cuts?
And there she goes. Welcome to Dean's Nature Show, finding the beauty in everyday life. Look at this peach tree we have here with the little baby peaches. Oh, she's back.
I like my sunglasses.
There she goes again. Grass is the heartiest plant on earth. We're back.
Okay, I think we're good.
Thankfully, I measured things correctly and the panel fit, but we were in quite a rush because we had dinner plans with friends.
Square number 1.
Woo!
We gotta work fast.
There you have it. What's the most work you've ever done to put 2 holes into a beadboard?
I better not have messed up. Oh my god, good thing I didn't.
For the test. Looky there. Nice.
I'm gonna, ready?
What?
I'm just trying to move fast. We're supposed to be leaving to go get pizza really soon.
And once again, I struck a familiar pose.
Can you see sweat in my armpit?
You're not pulling it this way.
I'm just holding it up. I'm a holder. I hold boards, I hold cameras, I hold babies, I hold you in my arms. I hold it all.
My arms are burning so bad holding this thing.
Our butts are touching. I'm liking the beadboard. I'm a fan. Get me out of here.
We gotta leave in 10 minutes for dinner.
Oh, great.
But the last thing we need to do, and the last thing we can do, is measure and cut our trim boards that go on top right here on this side. I can't do the shiplap or the crown molding, anything on this side, because we don't have drywall on the outside of the arch yet. So I can't really do anything that involves this wall. So the last thing to do is cut these trim boards.
I picked up these trim pieces from Lowe's, and they're actually the same exact ones that we used in our daughter's room a few weeks ago. I cut everything down to size and then brought it inside to install. Thankfully, all of my cuts were correct, and so install went super quick. Even though things are definitely a mess and we're still very much in process, it is so exciting to see my vision finally coming to life, and I'm really happy about how everything is turning out.
Oh my gosh, okay, we gotta go right now.
Hey.
There you go.
Oh, we did it. We did it.
And then as soon as they drywall this, we'll be able to finish up the trim. Hopefully that won't take too long. We can do the flooring, the baseboards, and then paint everything.
All right, let's get out of here. It's time for pizza.
It looks so good. I like this stuff on the ceiling. I'm so glad we went this way with it.
Progress in the bathroom this week was not going to be easy, as we had up to 10 people working on our house at one time. At the start of the week, our tile guys were still finishing some things up, while outside they were preparing to cut concrete for a new drainage system. And right smack dab in the middle of this, our insurance adjuster showed up to see if some of the moisture and mold would be covered. We believe one of the main causes of the mold is an improper drainage from an add-on that was built before our time. But it could also be a few other things, which is why we're having an insurance adjuster come out to find out what the real source is and hopefully get this covered. Because right now, to do the drainage and the remediation properly, it's gonna cost in the tens of thousands of dollars. For now though, we have to move forward on a proper drainage solution because we can't start remediation until that's taken care of. So we've hired a local company to start a very loud, very messy, multi-day process of cutting out a bunch of concrete and installing proper drainage around the back side of our house where this addition is. Unfortunately, our adjuster didn't have the best news.
So what is the verdict for insurance coverage?
It's unlikely, we knew that, but he still can't figure out what the source of water is. We're not sure if it's drainage. It could be partly drainage, it could be something else. It could be something from the AC, but if it's like anything that touches the ground outside, even if it's from our AC, like the drain, that's not covered. It's considered groundwater. There's still a chance that it could be something from like our washer and dryer, because our old washer did leak, and so they're gonna send a plumber out and someone who just tests all of the plumbing, and then someone who's gonna look at all of the HVAC stuff and see.
So you're
there's
saying
a real
there's a
small
chance.
There's a real small chance that'll be covered.
What are you doing over here with all this going on, huh?
Playing with paint colors.
You're over
Look how
here
pretty
playing.
this looks. I just need to decide if that's like too dark.
Well, squatting will definitely help you make the decision, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I heard it increases blood flow to the brain, which can help you like make better decisions.
It probably decreases blood flow to the brain. Man, I don't know.
With everything going on at the house, we decided to leave for an early lunch and to run some very important errands.
Somebody moved from a car seat to a booster seat now. Woo! Alright, so where are we going?
birthday boy to eat some lunch. His birthday's tomorrow.
And this is his final week of kindergarten, and he has 1 day a week where he stays home that the big kids are at school. So this is his maiden voyage. This will be his final supper of kindergarten and eating with us on work days. All right, so where are we off to next?
Next, we are off to look at countertops. Asherman, you want to pick out your favorite countertop?
He looks thrilled.
Since countertops usually take a couple of weeks, we decided to go ahead and get these picked out now so that we're not waiting for them at the end of our project.
You like that one? That's pretty cool looking for sure.
That's cool. Look at those colors in there. Whenever picking out countertops, I have found it's very helpful to bring some of my paint samples and materials with me so that I can really get a feel for how it's going to look.
Did you find what you were looking for?
We found what we were looking for. I went with a leathered granite, so it's like very different than anything I've ever done before. But I didn't realize they would have so many options that have a slight brown tint to them, so they look really good with the tile, which now has me second guessing the shower curve. I'm like, oh, do I do light or do I match the countertop? So I need to go home and figure that out and text them. But they are not very backed up for fabrication, so she said they could get this cut in a week, which is incredible. And then we can install it ourselves. Otherwise, we need to wait like 3 weeks, but it's a bathroom vanity, it's small, we can totally do that.
When we got back, we were pleased to discover that crews both inside and out had made a lot of progress, and we had a second important meeting with our first specialist in plumbing. This guy looked high and low, inside and out to find any significant signs of leaks and moisture caused by faulty plumbing. Unfortunately, that seemed to be a bit inconclusive, but we do have one more shot at this getting covered by insurance, but we'll have to wait until next week for an AC specialist to come out and give us the final verdict. Going out the front door for once,
I
huh?
know, it's so weird. It's kind of muddy in our back because of all the concrete mess.
So, what are we going to get this time, Brain?
Another trip to the hardware store.
Sorry. I was filming, got distracted. There we go. We're all safe and sound, ready to go here. Hey!
I never bought some of the trim that I need for around the arch. I did order a flexible piece of trim for that top part, but I need to go get the matching straight pieces from Home Depot. I'm assuming it's from Home Depot because I ordered my flexible trim from there, and so it just seems more likely that they'll have that exact same trim.
Home Depot. Home Depot. Every single day it's a Home Depot. Let's get in there, darling.
Thankfully, they had the exact boards that I needed, and I didn't have any problems finding them.
Hey, you want to see how tall I am?
And on my way down the aisle, I saw something else I needed.
We've gotten distracted. We're squatting.
No, I'm not distracted.
What's
This is
happening?
What I was looking for. I'm trying to decide if these are tall enough for our baseboards.
I mean, what even is this?
I need something for where my baseboard is going to meet like the archway around the shower, and then also there's going to be like a little piece below there.
Never mind.
So
Just jump.
This is what I came up with. I'll show you. We're going to go install it.
Yeah, let's do that. Hey, wait, you're taking a wrong turn. Where are you going?
You just told me Chipotle is over here, and it just...
Bite. Get us in there, darling. What you got? Steak burrito.
Salad bowl thing. It's starting to rain. Gosh, I feel like I need to go get a coffee.
What? Let's get the show on the road. You're leaving me behind. Oh, I guess I'll get those boards. Oh, just threw her water on the ground. Come on, you guys. Me and my boards going inside.
After a lot of waiting, we could finally get back to work in the bathroom.
All right, the tile is finally finished, which means I can finish up the trim around the tile. And look at how clean. They cleaned this whole bathroom. I didn't do any of this. I'm so glad. They're finished, and so I can finally finish the rest of the trim and the crown molding. That's what we're gonna do next.
And as quickly as we got started, we had already hit another roadblock.
Well, darling, it's raining out there. We just want to test that drainage system before it's done.
Yeah, none of it's going into the drain yet. It's just going into the hole, but that's better than into the house.
So what are we doing?
I can't figure out where. I don't really want to cut stuff inside, but I guess.
Garage? Can you do
Yeah,
the
but
garage?
I just carried these in from the garage.
And this whole scenario just felt like about par for the course on this project.
Are you cutting it out there? Yeah. Me going super secret detective mode, not getting a camera wet. Under the shirt. It worked. What are we doing?
We're gonna go cut it inside.
Why?
Because it stinks and I don't have room to cut it in here.
Oh, yeah, we've kind of gone downhill. All right, back under the shirt. And we're back.
Step 1 in finishing up the rest of the trim was measuring the shiplap so I could get that cut.
Then I thought Andrea might like to be serenaded while she worked.
Baby, you light up my world. That's so loud! Stop!
Andrea loves it when I sing.
That's so loud and we're in a little room.
Once I had all of my measurements marked, I was ready to start making cuts, and this definitely wasn't an ideal work setup.
That's not what I want to happen. It broke.
Nice.
So all these cuts that I'm making on my shiplap panels are pretty much hidden either by the baseboards or, you know, something like that, or under trim. So it doesn't matter that my lines aren't perfectly straight, and it is a whole lot easier to use a jigsaw inside than my circular saw. And so that's why I'm using my jigsaw. It just is more comfortable, and I know it's not going to affect the end quality.
There you have it. There it is.
Once I had the shiplap panels cut, I needed to mark the correct height on the wall before I could nail them in place.
So get one side in. We're going for side number 2. What are we doing here?
Huh?
What are we doing here?
I'm just showing you the trim piece.
I'm looking at it. There it is.
Once I had the panels up on either side of the shower, I moved to the last piece that would go around the window, and this one was definitely quite a bit more tricky.
What am I doing? What are these lines? I drew on the wrong one.
Oh, baby doll. It's been a long month, hasn't it?
Yeah, and we're gonna start demo in the playroom next week. I'd like to say we're almost finished, but we're not. Back to home. I don't know how to cut it in here. It's just frustrating.
This is Dean. I'm coming to you live from inside the newly tiled shower and just letting you know that things aren't exactly going according to plan, but we're making the most of it. She's not very happy right now.
This is making me mad.
Like I said earlier, this was not the best work setup because of the rain outside, and trying to cut these panels on a wobbly surface was really frustrating.
Wait.
What?
I messed up just a little bit, but not so bad that I have to redo it.
Oh, I get it. L. It stands for L.
This one piece was definitely giving me a run for my money.
Gosh, this is making me so mad. Stuff like fell apart.
But eventually I got it installed.
Alright, so I have the shiplap mostly done. That was a little bit frustrating. This is not the ideal spot to be cutting this stuff, but this is the time that we have to work on this, and we really need to get it done. So it is what it is.
Nice work.
Next, we moved outside so we could start cutting the trim for around the arch. And once again, we ran into another delay.
What is, why would it? What is happening? Stuck on something?
Wow.
What is happening?
Do you want some help?
Yes.
I don't know if I can do any better, but goodness.
Oh, I think I see what it is. Here.
Yes.
Woo! All right, so I need to figure out my angles for my arch where my pieces of trim are going to meet together. I know I have some kind of angle finder somewhere in there, but I never use it, and so I don't actually know where it is, and I don't want to look for it. So I'm kind of eyeballing it, and I'm going to make a couple of practice cuts that are longer than what I need. That way I can adjust it, and then once I figure it out, you know, it'll be easy, but gotta figure it out first. I need to adjust it a little bit, but not too much.
How's that?
Almost perfect.
Figuring out this angle meant I was going back and forth quite a bit, but eventually I did get it right.
Hopefully this is the last test. It's perfect!
Wow.
All right, let's go make the cuts, man. Let's go make the cuts.
Are you a carpentress?
This really is like a big piece of like fettuccine.
It's a fettuccine, yeah.
It's so weird. It's like rubbery.
Yeah, cutting Play-Doh's hard. Got it.
It's flexible, so it starts like bending back and like pinch my blade.
I mean, it's giant fettuccine. What do you expect?
Look, I just cut the angle on one end because I've only got one of these, and I don't want to wait for another one to come in the mail.
Get your anaconda.
It really
Let's
does
get
kind
in
of feel like a snake, like
Get
if
your
you've ever
boa
held a really
constrictor.
big boa, yeah.
After bringing my pieces inside, I installed the first piece of trim along the side of the arch.
Okay, now I can finally show you what that little plinth block was for. So that goes right here, and then obviously my baseboard is gonna butt up to it on this side. And then the reason I really wanted to use it is I just had like all of these trim pieces that needed to join right here, and I couldn't think of any clean way for that to happen. But this is a little bit thicker than all of my trim pieces, and so it's just a nice clean way to have it all end and not look like a total weird mess. There you go. Now we're ready to move on to the other side.
Next, I measured the trim for the right side of the arch and then took it outside to make my next cut. Since I had already figured out the correct angle, it went much faster this time.
Let's see if this bad boy fits. Looks good to me.
Once I had both side pieces of trim installed, it was time to hold up the flexible piece of trim and mark where I needed to make my next cut.
The good news is if I mess it up, I think the other half of this is longer. How am I supposed to cut that?
Troubles in paradise.
Finally, it was time to bring in this flexible trim and test it out.
It did shorten it, like, yeah, it's too short, dang it.
What do you do now?
Go cut another piece. When it pinched my saw blade and made it jump, it cut into it and made it shorter, which is why it's too short.
Time to cut another noodle.
This time I figured out that if I have my trim curving towards me, it won't pinch my blade and is a much safer option. I used the piece of trim that was too short as my template so that I can make sure and cut the new piece just a little bit longer. Finally, it was the moment of truth and time to bring in this new piece of trim and see if it fit.
What do you think?
Oh, it's incredible. Best fettuccine I've ever seen.
Alright, now that I've got the arch finished, I just have a couple more pieces. I need to add my top piece right here. Right here, I need to cut just a little bit more off of this little shiplet panel for my light switch. I did go ahead and cut this little thing because this is going to be my solution for how I'm going to trim out around my light switch.
So when did you do that?
I did that last night when you were gone. This is just a little piece of a poplar 1x6 that I bought at Lowe's. I cut it down to where it's just a little bit longer than my switch plate here. This will just bring the whole thing forward, and now my trim can butt up onto the side of this. without looking funny. So
very handy.
yeah, so I guess next step, I actually need to go ahead and attach this to the wall so that then I can figure out how to cut my shiplap panel around this piece. All right, I'm gonna hold my switch plate cover on there just so I can make sure I have my block of wood set perfectly, and then I'll nail it into place, and then I can pull my switch plate back off.
How's it looking?
Good, I think that will be a good like solution, you know. All right, now that I have that nailed to the wall, I need to measure around the bottom of it here so that I can cut out on my panel, and then I can nail my panel in place. So I'm gonna measure that real quick and then we'll take it outside and cut.
I marked on the panel where I needed to make my cuts, and then I used my jigsaw to cut it out.
All right, let's see if it fits. I would say that looks pretty good.
Nice.
All right, now I'm finally ready to cut these last two little pieces of trim here. So I'm gonna measure those and write them down, and then hopefully we can just go make all of those cuts at once.
Like I've mentioned before, I usually like to draw out a simple map of my room to mark down all my measurements. That way it just helps me keep track of all of the correct angles. Once I had all of my measurements written down and outside with me, it was just a matter of changing the angle on my saw over and over again and making a lot of little cuts. Thankfully, all of my cuts were accurate, and so install was relatively quick.
That looks good. All right, we have one trim item left, and that is crown molding. So thankfully this is just a big rectangle. Maybe that means this will go quick, but it is crown molding, so it's not just straight, simple cuts. Either way, I'm gonna measure it and we're gonna get started.
Measuring this really long wall proved a little bit trickier than I thought it would, and so I asked Teen for an extra set of hands.
No.
Why didn't you say that?
Oh, that was my nose.
I'm sorry, babe. Are you okay?
It's fine.
You love your life.
Ow. That was my head.
Once I had all of my measurements written down, we headed outside, grabbed the crown molding out of the garage, and then started making cuts.
This is not feeling correct. I had the angle wrong. Sometimes it's confusing because it has like 2 notches for the angle, and I was looking at the wrong one. I think I can fix it because basically my angle wasn't enough, and so I need to like shave off a little more, but hopefully I don't make my board too short in that process.
Okay.
We'll be singing that Low Strip song again.
No, I'm not
I
doing
know,
that.
that's why I'm like.
Once I had all of my cuts done correctly, it was time to bring all of these boards inside. This is definitely a job that requires 2 people, as it is super helpful to hold up 2 pieces at the same time to make sure that you install the crown molding at the correct angle. Once I had the first board in place, I simply made my way around the room using my brad nailer to attach the crown molding to the wall and the ceiling.
My armpits are sweating a little bit. Alright, is that it?
Well, now I gotta like fill a couple hundred nail holes and caulk a whole bunch of edges. Hey, it looks pretty good. I mean, actually, it looks terrible before you caulk it, but you know, if you use your imagination, it looks pretty good. All right, now that I have all the trim all finished, it's time to start filling all the holes. I need to fill in the screws on the drywall. We're not gonna add texture or anything like that because we'll be wallpapering over it, but I do wanna fill in the few screw holes that there are. And then I have a couple holes on the wall too that I saw that I need to fill. And I'm gonna do those first because they're bigger, they'll take more time to dry. And then I'll go through and fill all of my tiny nail holes after that. All right, so I have the larger holes filled and now I'm just gonna go around and use my finger to fill in all of the tiny little holes. This is gonna take a while, so I'm gonna turn on the audiobook and try not to think about how many there are.
With my audiobook on, I made my way around the room, filling what felt like hundreds of tiny nail holes, and I made sure not to forget the ones on the ceiling.
All right, so now that I have all my nail holes filled in, while that dries, I'm gonna go ahead and go around and caulk all of my edges, like everything. There's a lot, so this is gonna take a while. Once again, I'm gonna put in some headphones and turn on an audiobook and hope that maybe it doesn't take as long as I think it's going to. I don't know, but it's worth it.
This first corner was definitely the most tedious spot in the room as I had some larger cracks and so many corners to go around. And once again, I made my way around the room, being sure to caulk all around the new window trim and the crown molding. I also like to make sure and caulk the seam in between each panel as this gives a nice, clean, continuous look.
All right, so I finished caulking everything and next I'm gonna go ahead and put some sample colors up on the wall so I can start trying to narrow down my paint colors.
What are we thinking?
It's too hard to tell. I'm like, I do not know. It looks
like baby poop?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It will probably look different once it's dry. But right now, yeah, it kind of looks like baby poop.
While my staple colors were drying, I went ahead and started sanding all of my nail holes. After everything had dried, I was ready to make a final decision on the paint color.
Someone's been finger painting.
I know, it looks like such a mess. I did pick a color. I'm so proud of myself because where's my little color swatch?
I don't know.
But it was the color that I liked best of the samples too. But after the last time we had to pick paint with the wallpaper, I knew better than to just go with my little sample card, and I just wanted to get the little sample jars on the wall just to be safe. But I actually like the darkest one better. When I put my wallpaper with it, I just like it. We're kind of going for a dark and moody vibe in here. It's definitely going to be that. All right, now that I have my paint color decided, the next thing I need to do is sand the texture on the top portion of the walls. And I want to go ahead and do that now because I need to vacuum and wipe everything down anyway. And obviously this is going to make a big mess. I am going to duct tape my shop vac to my orbital sander just to help control some of the dust, but that's not a perfect solution. But like I said, I need to vacuum anyway. So now's a good time to do this before I actually start masking everything off for paint.
Once I had my sander and shop vac all ready to go, I got to work, and even with 60 grit sandpaper, this was still an incredible arm workout. It's hard to see this on camera, but these walls are quite textured, and my goal in this process is to get everything nice and smooth so that my wallpaper will adhere properly.
All right, so while Andrea is inside getting ready for paint, she's sending me on a run to get the actual paint. So So I'm gonna go grab a couple gallons and we're doing like we normally do, and that's double duties. All right, so we're gonna make this thing happen. We're running a little bit low on time. Just got a fantastic idea. Pop the sunroof! I've gotta make it there by 5. I only have a few more minutes. Let's hit it! And we've made it with 7 minutes to spare! Woo! Yeah! Pick up for Andrea Davis. BMX? This ain't no BMX. I'll show you what BMX is. All right, so we got the paint, but they did not have a paint suit with a hood, which is really important when you're painting ceilings. So that means, ladies and gentlemen, that we need to take
a Lowe's trip.
Here we are.
A Lowe's trip. Every single day it's a Lowe's trip.
Sometimes I need a little extra time to find my bearings in Lowe's, but eventually I get there. Paint aisle. Yes, paint aisle. Meanwhile, Andrea was tackling her own set of tasks.
All right, I need to vacuum, but I just realized my shop vac is not working very well because it is so full and the filter is so clogged. So I need to go get another filter. But Dean is gone getting paint. And so, since I can't clean up yet and vacuum, I'm gonna go ahead and tape this edge of my tile, and then I'll come back with like another piece of tape and plastic. I'm gonna need more tape too, but I'm gonna do that and he should be back before I finish. So, just trying to keep moving.
Anytime Dean goes out and leaves the camera with me, I'm reminded just how much my camera skills are lacking.
Whoops. Something just happened to the camera.
And finally, after getting everything Andrea requested, I was ready to head back home.
Made it. All right. It's getting dark, so the lighting is really awesome. I had to pause because I realized our shop vac was so clogged and full and the filter was so caked with dust. It was so bad that it was barely picking up anything, and it's not good for your vacuum to use like that anyway. So when Dean got back with the paint, I ran to Home Depot to get a new filter for this thing, and there's no way we're gonna have time to start painting tonight. So, or maybe we will. Maybe we'll just paint in the dark. I don't know. Either way, I'm gonna start cleaning right now and just vacuum everything, and we'll go from there.
The key to a good paint finish is good prep work, and vacuuming up all of the dust is an essential part of that process.
All right, it's super dark. I don't have Dean here right now. He is at an event with all the boys. They go there this week. I finished vacuuming and then started bringing my stuff in here to mask it off, and figured out that this was the last of my tape. And so I just made the third or fourth trip of the day to Home Depot for tape. I'm gonna go ahead and mask off this window, and then I'll move on to masking off the arch with plastic.
And once again, my lack of camera skills really became apparent.
I don't know how much of that got filmed. The camera stopped. Well, there it is. The shower is all taped off. I don't know how much I got on the film, so there may be nothing, but you get the idea.
The next day, our flooring guy showed up to finish the last little bit of flooring in the bathroom. And of course, another crew showed up right at that same time to get measurements for the new glass shower door.
All right, so they actually came and finished the flooring this morning and took the toilet out for us. I couldn't get the plumbing all the way off before, and so we just stuck the hose down into the pipe like that. The good news is now I can paint easily behind the toilet and get that done now, and I can also go ahead and install our baseboards. So I'm gonna measure really quick, and then we're gonna go cut these baseboards, and we're gonna move fast because we have storms coming in. It's got a little bent.
That board usable?
Yes, it's fine. It's just bent because I didn't have it on a flat surface storing it, but it'll be fine when I nail it to the wall.
And par for the course on this project, as we were outside working, another crew came to work outside as well.
This craziness, man.
There was definitely a lot going on today, but thankfully here outside, they were finishing up this drainage project by pouring and shaping the concrete around the drain. And hopefully this lengthy, messy project will mean no more water leaks in the back of our house.
I made all of my measurements for the entire room so that I could make all of my cuts in one trim.
Alright, I got my baseboards cut, but before I install them, I actually want to go ahead and lay paper down. That way the paper will go up under my baseboards and it'll be easy to pull out after I paint, but that'll make masking off the floors a lot easier to go ahead and do that now.
Covering the floors was going well until I ran out of my floor cover.
Go see if I have more. I didn't originally have that much flooring to cover in there because I thought I was going to paint before they finished flooring, but we didn't. It worked out where he came a day early, which is fine. I'm gonna go check the garage. Alright, I didn't have any more of the like floor covering paper, but I'm gonna use this. I might even like double layer this, we'll see. But I'm gonna use my last little piece here in the doorway just because this is thicker and we'll be coming in and out right here. I don't want it, you know, tearing.
After I finished masking off the floor, I was ready to start installing the baseboards.
All right, time for baseboards. So I didn't miter this corner because I'm gonna have to cut some of these baseboards out when we install the vanity anyway so I can get it up against the wall. So I knew I didn't need that to be perfect. So if you notice that it's not mitered, that's why.
I didn't notice.
Alright, next I'm gonna go ahead and fill all of my nail holes. Thankfully this will dry really fast since they're so small. Then I can clean it up and I'll caulk after that. Alright, I've got the baseboards all installed and the nail holes filled. I'm going to go ahead and go back and sand them lightly and then I'll be able to wipe everything down and caulk after that. Alright, so now I'm ready to wipe the baseboards down.
After sanding and wiping down the baseboards, I was finally ready to start caulking around all of the trim.
Noise, man.
After I finished up all of the caulking, I was finally ready to get on my paint suit and start painting.
Paint suit with the hood and booties. Good job, babe.
You're welcome.
People always ask me what spray gun I use, and my old one was an old model from Harbor Freight that lasted so long and was so great, and it was like less than 200 bucks. But they don't carry it anymore. This is their newer version, so we're gonna see how it compares. It sure does look nice, and I love that it has wheels because this thing is surprisingly, you know, a little bit heavy. If it works well, I'll leave the link in the description.
After getting my sprayer primed with paint, I was ready to get my mask on and start spraying.
My hose doesn't fit under the door, so I've got to bring the paint sprayer in the bathroom. Alright, basically I'm going to start from the top and work my way down. That just seems like a logical thing to do.
You look like you could be in Star Wars.
I feel like I could be in Star Wars.
So much time trying to pick a paint color for this space and then prepping everything for the paint that it was really exciting to finally see the color going on the walls.
Alright babe, I'm gonna get out of here.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Put the paper at the bottom.
Right.
I love the paint sprayer. It is so great.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Alright, link in the description then, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, good luck.
Good job here.
And several minutes later, I was already done with coat number 1.
Look who it is. How was the paint suit?
Great. It gets sweaty. It's hot in there. Oh my goodness. Does it smell strong out here?
No.
Okay. think it's just in my nose.
It's because I put the paper up.
You did good, babe. You did so good.
Round 2.
Yep. It's taken forever to dry because it is very humid. We're having like a torrential downpour. Someone just tried to drive through the flooded part of our street and their car got swept away. They got out safely, thankfully.
And it's a good thing that we just got the new drainage system finished out back, because this is some of the worst flooding we've seen in a really long time.
You are so cool.
I feel like an astronaut.
The second coat only took a few minutes and everything was looking really good.
Just doing my job. How's that?
It's looking good. I think I might have got it all in 2 coats. It's hard to tell when it's still wet.
After letting the paint dry for a bit, we were ready to go back in the bathroom and get our first peek at the dry paint color.
I want to pull the plastic off of the shower just because I really want to do that, but then I need to take the paint sprayer outside to get it out of the way.
I say this every time, but pulling the masking off after painting feels so much like opening presents on Christmas morning. And this felt especially exciting because I was dying to see this paint color up against the tile. After pulling all of the masking off and getting a good look at the paint color, I was so pleased with the color I chose.
The brown looks, the tile looks so much better now with it painted.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked the tile before, but I mean, like,
That looks insane.
that
actually.
looks so good.
From there, I was ready to keep cleaning up our paint mess so I could move on to the next part of this project.
Ow! Ow! Owie! I stabbed myself in the butt with the door handle. Ow! It looks so good. Oh my gosh, the tile looks so good. It's so pretty.
I let the paint dry thoroughly over the weekend, and then it was time for the next exciting step in this bathroom makeover.
All right, so the next exciting thing in this project is installing wallpaper. This is a peel and stick wallpaper, so it'll be a little bit different than the last couple of times I've wallpapered. I actually prefer pasted wallpaper. I think initially it sounds more intimidating, but every time I have used it, it is so much easier than peel and stick. So I'm hoping this will not be too bad. I also decided I want to go ahead and start with a piece right here because this line is straight, and then I can kind of work my way that way and this way, and I really hope I ordered enough wallpaper.
Yeah, I do too.
I feel like I've been looking forward to this step of the project pretty much since day one, and so getting this first piece of wallpaper up felt extra exciting.
Wax on, wax off, babe.
Once I had the first piece up, I used my wallpaper smoothing tool to get out any bubbles, and then I used my knife to trim away the excess.
Man, it looks so good. I love this wallpaper. I feel like it's so fun for like a little guest bathroom. So I went ahead and opened up my second roll of wallpaper because on the roll I just cut, the way my pattern repeats, the top of my piece is like right here. And so I would have like pretty good amount of waste that I have to trim off. So I was like, I'm gonna try with my second roll to see if it lines up better. And so I think hopefully it'll just, you know, as I go around, I can kind of check where the patterns repeat, like the least amount of waste. Moment of truth, we're about to find out how difficult this peel and stick wallpaper is, because now I gotta line up my first, you know, pattern.
Thankfully, I got the second piece up without any problems, and it was feeling really exciting to see my vision come to life.
I'm feeling you.
Oh, I love it.
presented me with my first real challenge as I had to go around the corner and around one of the light fixtures.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how difficult is this?
I don't know, this corner is not fun. Probably partly because our corners probably aren't even straight. Cutting around, I need to cut around the light outlet here.
Thankfully, I was able to get my first really challenging piece installed, and I was that much closer to getting this wallpaper finished.
I did it! Oh my gosh.
1 corner piece done, only 3 more to go.
I know. I started to say, well, I think I just did like the hardest piece in the room. And then I was like, nope. These are probably the easy corners, because those corners, I got the door and the arch and the window in the arch. Those are gonna be doozies.
Progress was coming along nicely, and I started to get high hopes that I could even finish this before lunchtime. That is, until we were forced to stop progress and go manage a project on the other side of the house.
Now that the new drainage system was complete out back, we were scheduled to start mold remediation inside today, and unfortunately, that led to some unsavory news. If you've been following this channel a while, you know that last year we actually remodeled this entire space and it took about a month. But because of the moisture and mold that was found in this room, much of the work that was done in this room will have to be undone, and they even plan to take out the bookcases and the bench at the bay window. And as if that wasn't enough, we actually had an AC specialist coming to work as well, because during part of the discovery process, they found that some of our AC ducts were caving in on themselves, which would require more work, more mess, and of course, more money. And with everything going on, we actually needed to pause and go pack a bag.
So, he said that we need to pack a bag because they're going to be in our closet and it's going to take them all week. And so we've got to get whatever clothes we need now for the entire week. This is awesome.
I wasn't mentally prepared for this.
Finally, after getting everything settled and a bag packed, we were ready to get back to wallpaper.
How you feeling over there, you know?
The wallpaper's very pretty.
That's good.
I'm gonna focus on that.
Yeah, focus on that.
This is fun. I'm kind of glad we're doing like a job that's not like as messy. If today was paint day, I don't think I could handle that. We already did the painting. That's good. That's good.
To be honest, it's been a bit difficult not to get discouraged about the way things have unfolded over the last few weeks. We're gonna do our best to keep our heads held high and trust that, once again, God has a plan.
From here, I followed the same basic process and continued making my way around the room. Meanwhile, on the other side of the house, mold remediation was in full swing and going well, and they even had cleaners there wiping down every single book and toy from the playroom. And I cannot express enough how thankful I am that we are not doing all of this work ourselves.
All right, we're getting back to the wallpaper now. It's been a crazy day. There's a lot going on, but I'm gonna switch to this side of the room and go around this way because I'm pretty sure that I'm not gonna have enough wallpaper.
Babe.
And I really want to get this part in like the arch done. I feel like I'm gonna be just barely short.
And what happens if you're barely short?
And they order more wallpaper.
I knew there was a good chance I was not going to have enough wallpaper, and unfortunately I ran out and had to call it a day early.
Hey Dean.
What's going on there?
I'm out of wallpaper.
That's fantastic.
I'm not even that close, like.
So what does that mean?
I just ordered another roll. That's what that means.
And we'll have to wait how long?
It says a week, or 6 days. Hopefully it's not late. And hopefully it matches okay. It looks really pretty though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks amazing.
I like it right here where you can see like the paint color and the tile and the wallpaper. It looks so good. Okay, but I gotta show y'all the mirror. I know I probably already have.
Oh, okay, let's show them the mirror.
Oh my gosh, this thing is so heavy.
This is very important
This
that we
is
see
like-
the mirror right now.
This is the single most important thing single most expensive thing I bought for the bathroom. But sometimes you just find something and it's like worth it. This is one of those things. Wow, it's so heavy. Oh, look how pretty it looks. Oh my gosh, my arms.
Alright, it's a little sneak peek of next week's reveal, huh?
Yeah, hopefully.
Even though I wasn't able to finish all of the wallpaper this week, I am still so thrilled with the progress we made, and I am just in love with this paint color, with the wallpaper, and everything together.
Alright, so we are trying to make it to the finish line of this bathroom, and next I'm going to go ahead and start doing things like installing the lights. We need to go get a toilet. We need to install plumbing fixtures, our vanity. But for now we're going to focus on installing these lights. Before doing any electrical work, you always want to check your stuff with a little voltage tester, and my wires are not hot, so that's good.
The first step in installing these light fixtures was to remove these brackets that were already attached so I could attach them to the wall. Next, I connected all of the wires, and then it was time to install the fixture. This next step should have been really quick and easy, but things were not going according to plan.
Why is this so hard?
I don't know, man.
Goodness, I can't get this one little screw in.
This trim below the sconce made it really hard to access the little screw to attach the fixture, and so I had to get a little creative.
I feel like I almost have it. Ah! I had my drill in reverse! Dang it! I think I need a longer drill bit because it's like hard to reach that.
Makes sense.
Yes!
Is that it?
That's it.
After I finished the first one, I was able to follow the same basic process for the second one, and thankfully things went a little smoother this time.
It looks so pretty. I just want to keep looking at everything.
Okay, well, we gotta go.
Take a picture of the bathroom so I can just look at it, you know, when I'm gone. It's so pretty. I'm so happy.
Is that your new boyfriend?
Next, it was time to head to Lowe's to pick out a new toilet so we could get this bathroom actually usable.
A Lowe's trip, a Lowe's trip. Every single day it's a Lowe's trip.
Look at all those lights, would you? But the brightest light of all is you. Gosh, these... Whoa. Gosh, this thing's absolutely gorgeous.
And when you're buying a new toilet, I always say it's essential to test it out.
No, Dean, stop it. I can't even watch.
It actually felt like it felt really good on the posterior. And you see, the fascinating part is how different all of them look. I mean, look at this. They just look dramatically different one to the next. You know what I mean? If you don't make a decision in the next 60 seconds, I'm actually gonna sit down on one of these toilets and poop. So while Andrea picks a toilet, needle in a haystack, I'm gonna go ahead and make myself useful and go grab us a cart. Here we are.
But when I got back with the basket, Andrea was nowhere to be found.
Where you been?
I'm looking for the lock streams.
Which one? Point and shoot.
When we got this thing down, it was much heavier than expected.
Babe, no, put it down on the ground. Nope.
And so I had to go grab a bigger cart.
That'll do.
After getting the toilet loaded up, I grabbed a few more supplies, and then it was time to check out.
Oh, you got a little protein shake, huh? Come on, buddy.
Can you believe you wanted to put that in a regular basket? I tried to tell you.
See you later, bud.
Hopefully not too soon.
Yeah, you're right.
After we got home, it was my job to unload this hoss and bring it inside.
All right, big dookie boy, let's do it.
Once Dean brought the new toilet into the bathroom, I started unboxing everything and getting it ready to install.
Would you say your favorite day in every project is toilet day?
No.
I got to work installing this toilet, and as I got closer to the end, we had a pretty exciting delivery show.
Delivery!
Because of everything we had going on with all of the mold remediation, we decided to hire out the vanity build instead of building one myself this time.
And you might recognize our friend Tyler who dropped off the vanity. He and his wife Jestine also design and renovate homes, and they've actually just launched a YouTube channel of their own. They're currently undertaking one of the biggest renovation projects we've ever seen, as they're tearing down an old garage, carport, and more to add on more livable, beautiful square footage for their growing family. This project will take them over 6 months, and I've been able to help them film and produce the process. So if you want to follow this wild renovation journey, then be sure to go check out their brand new channel. You can search for it on YouTube, or I'll put a link in the description of our video.
After the vanity was delivered, we came back inside to a bit of an emergency.
Oh my gosh. There's water going everywhere. Here, I need more towels. I need more towels, quick. I couldn't get it to stop leaking. Oh my gosh, hurry!
I'm coming.
I couldn't figure out where the water was coming from, and so eventually I just shut off the water to the entire house.
Okay, can you try and move the towels around?
When an emergency is taking place, sometimes you just gotta sing a little song to kind of keep yourself calm, you know?
Potty water. Oh shoot, I don't think the water is off.
Normally, all you have to do is turn off the water supply line right behind the toilet, but ours is older and it won't shut off all the way. I finally figured out where the water was coming from, and about an hour later, we had everything cleaned up and a working toilet. Next, I moved on to another plumbing installation with my fingers crossed that this one would go more smoothly than the last one.
All right, before I actually shut the water off and work on installing this piece, I want to make sure that I've got the rest of it figured out and assembled. There are no instructions. All it says is correctly install the handheld hose interface.
It's super helpful, is it not?
So I'm kind of just getting all my pieces laid out and hoping that I do everything correctly.
Alright. This stuff is dope, isn't it?
I haven't actually used pipe dope before. I usually just have Teflon tape on hand, but it's just another thing you can add to your plumbing, like the threading. And this isn't like a glue, so it's not gonna glue it, but it'll just help seal it. And it also makes it easier to remove fixtures later if you need to, so.
Putting this thing together without any instructions felt a little bit like putting together a jigsaw puzzle, and I was a little bit nervous after our whole toilet fiasco.
How's it going?
Good. It's just hard to get, like, you have to get everything tightened, but then also have it all lined up, like, and so some of it I'm having to, like, I can't under tighten it, you know, to have it line up. If, like, first try, I have, like, a bunch of leaks on this thing, I don't know, I'll probably just call a plumber. Alright, so I have this all assembled. I'm gonna go ahead and go shut the water off, and then we can pull those caps off and hopefully not get sprayed in the face or something. Alright, the water's off. This kind of feels like moment of truth. I feel like my whole plumbing debacle with the toilet last night has me a little bit like, oh no, no, I want to touch this. But I went and checked the other sinks and the water is off, so hopefully not too much water is in the line and comes out when I take these off. I'm gonna feel like a real plumber if this works. I guess I should say, maybe I should save my, oh no.
This second cap was on extremely tight, and so I grabbed Dean's help to hold a second set of pliers.
There it is.
Moving, yes. Whoa, whoa. What is happening? What's going on?
It's pink.
I just gotta wait for it to finish its business, I guess.
Yep.
Alright, before I actually install this, I need to like kind of hold it up and mark where I need to drill a hole to attach this. Because I'll need to drill a hole in my tile and then screw this into the wall first. So I'm gonna do that.
I used my level and a piece of painter's tape to mark where I needed to drill into the tile.
Feels scary.
Once I had the hole drilled into the tile, I was ready to attach the wall mounting bracket for the shower fixture.
Done. That was easy. I didn't even crack the tile.
Amazing.
I feel like I maybe should wait to boast until
Yes.
I have the screw in the wall though. All right, this should have been simple, but for some reason I'm not hitting the board that I put into the wall, so I'm hoping I'm just barely missing it and that I'll be able to hit that, because I did measure and I put a 2x4 in the wall between the studs there. But now I'm worried that maybe I was off or something, I don't know.
I used my stud finder to figure out where the 2x4 was in the wall and then figured out that it somehow was installed too low.
I think I put it too low.
So I moved on to plan B.
All right, plan B. I got a drywall anchor into the wall. That'll work just fine. All right, it's on. It's stable.
Once I finally had the wall bracket installed, I was ready to move on to installing the rest of the fixture. Once everything was installed, it was time to turn the water back on and find out if I did everything correctly.
I'm gonna turn the water back on. Hopefully we don't see water start spraying. Oh, that scared me. I thought it was like spraying out of the phone. This feels like a miracle. It's working. Next, I want to go ahead and get this mirror hung up. It feels a little risky to have it just leaning against the wall. I would be really, really sad if we broke that mirror. So that's what we're gonna do next.
This mirror is really heavy, and so I grabbed Dean's help to hold it up so I could mark where I wanted to install it.
All right, so it actually came with this metal, I think you call it a cleat, to hang it, and then it's got the, the peering side on the back of the mirror. So I marked where I want the bottom of my mirror to go, and then I'm gonna measure from the bottom on here to where the bottom of this cleat would be. So that's 29 inches to the bottom. Now I know my height here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put screws in all of these holes to see if any of them hit studs. I don't think there is a stud in this section because I know we have cast iron plumbing that runs up, but they did give drywall anchors. Surely they're big enough to hold it. Either way, I'm gonna go ahead and drill the screws in, and then I'll use that hole to start my drywall anchors on the ones that need them. Oh, I think I'm hitting a stud. All right, so I did actually hit a stud on this one, but I'm gonna go ahead and pull the rest of the screws out so I can add the drywall anchors on this side. Wow, that's so fancy looking. I love that mirror so much. I'll share the link for that mirror. I will say it was a complete splurge item. I didn't get it on sale, but with design, I really do think that if you do a good mix of budget friendly and then like maybe even just one splurge item, but you kind of have to think it through and be like, okay, which items can I save on where it's not gonna like hurt the overall design, but then which items are really worth it? For in here, I went with a budget friendly wallpaper, partly because I loved the wallpaper, but that's another item I would splurge on to get one that you really love. The tile was actually a budget-friendly option, but again, I loved the tile and it wasn't worth it to me to get the ones that were like literally 10 times the cost. But that mirror, I could not find anything even close to that. The quality is insane, it's beautiful, and I feel like it's worth every penny. It costs more than our vanity.
Oh.
But no regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets.
For you.
All right, now that we have the mirror hung, next up, I want to go ahead and start staining the vanity. I may not have enough of my second color of stain, but I did order more and it's coming tomorrow, so I can at least get started. But we're gonna go ahead and bring that inside because it is already like 100 degrees outside. It is so hot and it's middle of the afternoon, so.
Right.
I'm really excited about the vanity. I want to see it stained so bad.
We brought the vanity into the living room and set it on some scrap cardboard so I didn't get any stain on our floor.
All right, so before I can start staining, I need to do a light sanding on this. It hasn't been sanded yet, so I'm just gonna do that by hand though, because I don't want to accidentally knock down some of my corners too much.
And sorry if there's some background noise. We got a little process going on over here.
All right, I'm done sanding, and
And next I'm gonna go ahead and vacuum it really thoroughly. Alright, so if you've been watching our videos for a while, this is the exact same finish that I did on our coffee table, and this is also the same wood. I had this built out of white oak, which is part of the reason I didn't build it myself, is we can't easily get white oak here. And so before I apply the Rubio Monocoat Oil plus 2C, I like to use this Pre-Color Easy in the color Vintage Brown, because I feel like it just adds a touch of warmth, and that's what I want for this really dark stain. This Pre-Color Easy is a water-based product, and so I had to work quickly to avoid streaking or any uneven coloring. And like I said, this is a completely optional step. I just like the slight change in color that it gives. After I finished, I let the pre-color dry most of the day before moving on to the next step. Alright, it's been several hours, most of the day, and I think this is dry enough to go ahead and do the oil plus 2C. Again, this is the same color I did on our coffee table. I also used this on the butcher block in our office. It's the chocolate color. I've got just a little bit here. I think this will get me started for today, but I have more stain coming tomorrow. I started by removing and staining the cabinet doors, and my favorite way to apply this Rubio Monocoat Oil plus 2C is using their applicator pads to spread the color evenly around, and then I wipe everything away with a clean, lint-free rag. I let the vanity dry overnight, and the next morning we woke up to some really exciting news.
Alright, so we just got a really exciting call. The countertops are ready, but before we go pick them up, I want to get this vanity set in place, which means we need to cut out a hole for all the plumbing in the back, and I need to cut the baseboard so we can slide it all the way up against the wall. So we're going to do this quick because I'm ready to get these countertops. Alright, so I've got everything measured here. I'm going to use my level just to kind of make a neat square, and then I can cut it out with my jigsaw.
It's the loudest thing I've ever heard.
That is so loud in here. Wow. Before I can slide this in place, I'm going to use my multi-tool to cut my baseboards. I think this is actually tall enough to fit the baseboard around, but I still need to have a gap where the legs go, and so I'm going to measure where my vanity goes, and then I can cut a straight line and pop the baseboard out. Alright, so now I need to do the same thing on this other wall for the depth of my countertop. Alright, it's time to test it out. Let's go get that countertop.
Hey, is it humid out here at all?
My glasses are fogging up.
The lens is fogging up. It looks like it's like raining or something. How's that? Any better? A little clearer?
All right, we're headed to get the countertops, but I have a few things I need to pick up at Lowe's, and it's on our way to go to Lowe's first. So we're gonna make a quick stop there. I've got a few plumbing things I need to get, and I need one more little baseboard piece. Then we're going for real.
I literally thought we were gonna make it one day without having to sing
A Lowe's trip, a Lowe's trip. Every single day it's a Lowe's trip.
You left me in the dust.
Thankfully, this Lowe's trip didn't take long, and I was able to grab exactly what I needed quickly and get back out to the car so we could go get these countertops. All right, let's go get the countertop. I have this a little bit of a worry that something like they're gonna have forgotten a piece, like the backsplash or the shower sill or just something. I don't know why.
Don't worry, be happy.
About 20 minutes later, we made it to the granite yard.
Let's get ourselves a countertop, huh? What's happening here? We're getting sidetracked. I was under the impression that we were getting countertops, but Andrea is currently shopping for countertops.
Give me the key so I can roll away. Babe, quick!
I'm trying.
We're dying.
Hang on.
My brain cells are going.
The scent's a little strong, huh?
I mean, I do like the way that some things smell like that, but it also is like suffocating. So he had a big can of lacquer thinner to just wipe everything down and get it really clean. It's a little smelly. So I guess we're gonna be enjoying the humidity on our way home. Once we got home, we were ready to get this countertop installed, but it wasn't going to be quite as simple as I had hoped.
Tell me the truth.
Alright, so the sink is hitting this board that goes across here. I kind of thought that might be the case, but I'm just going to trim it with my jigsaw really quick, and then we'll try again.
After making some cuts to go around the sink, we were ready to put this countertop back in place.
Alright, let's try this again.
And thankfully it fit perfectly. That is, until I set the backsplash in place.
Oh, it doesn't quite fit.
So what does that mean?
Well, I did ask if they could trim it down if it didn't fit. I knew it would be close because our vanity was taller than I thought it would be, and so I knew it was going to be risky, but it's not a big deal. I just won't glue it in place yet, but I'm going to leave it there because it looks so good. Alright, next I want to go ahead and move on to all of our hardware and plumbing fixtures because I got everything in unlacquered brass, and so I want to apply a little bit of an aging solution. I love the way that raw unlacquered brass looks and just the patina that it gives over time. It's not, you know, a flawless, perfect looking finish, but that's kind of what I love about it is it's a living finish and it changes as time goes on. Anyway, I want to make it change a little bit faster, so I'm going to put an aging solution on this to give it that antique look a little bit sooner. So I'm going to go show you how we do that process. I always order this brass aging solution on Amazon, plus you can reuse it. So I'm pouring it into this bowl, but when I'm done, I'll just take whatever's left and pour it back into my bottle for the next time I want to use it.
It looks older already.
I continued by putting all of my bathroom hardware in the bowl, and if the finish is starting to scare you at this point, don't worry because in the next step I'm going to even everything out.
Is that a toilet paper holder?
It's a toilet paper holder.
Wow.
Alright, the final step is to buff off some of this antique finish with steel wool, so don't get scared if it looks a little bit dark, but now's the fun part. I love the way it looks. It may not be for everybody because like I said, it's a slightly imperfect look, but to me it's kind of like a natural stone countertop, you know, where you may get like some stains or etching over time, but I don't know, you can't beat like some of the living finishes and the like natural patina over time. It's so pretty. I feel like raw brass, like unlacquered brass, is probably my favorite metal.
I can see that. It's in the rest of your kitchen.
Once I was finished, I brought everything back into the bathroom so I could work on getting it installed.
I actually need to trim a little bit more of the wood inside. This is like
no.
a 1/4 inch off of being able, it just can't slide quite enough far forward. But the good thing about that is I want to go ahead and install the plumbing right there because it'll be so much easier to do that when it's like on the ground there and I can reach it easily versus like trying to lay under the sink, which if you've ever had to install like a sink faucet before, you know, like, and so I kind of want to pull it down either way, but I need some help. This thing's heavy.
Yeah, I do. That's where we're going with this. I'm not.
I just don't know how to.
Okay.
Gosh, if I could do every sink this way, installing sinks wouldn't be bad at all.
Installing the faucet spout was relatively straightforward, but these handles were unlike anything I'd ever seen before.
Never seen a faucet like this before. So once again, there's no instructions, probably because they're thinking whoever's installing these is, you know, like experienced plumber. I like this brand though. They sell a lot of unlacquered brass fixtures. So I'll link this one, but they also have kitchen faucets that are unlacquered brass and they're so pretty. I love plumbing.
Finally, I got it figured out and got both side handles set in place.
But I was starting to get concerned and had a really important question for Andrea.
I don't know how comfortable I feel with you using so much dope. Are you a dope user?
I used a generous amount of pipe dope and started connecting all of my water lines. After shaving off just a little bit more with the jigsaw, we were finally ready to set the countertop in place. Next, it was time to do a quick cleanup with the shop vac and then finish connecting my water lines.
Back on the dope, huh?
Well, I just realized we left the other P-trap on our old vanity. We gave that away, so
Nice.
I need to go get another P-trap now.
What does that
It's
mean?
another Lowe's trip. My goodness. So many Lowe's trips.
A Lowe's trip, a Lowe's trip. Every single day it's a Lowe's trip.
I hope I got enough stuff. I got a couple of different kits, and now I'm looking at it and going, I might need another extender. We're gonna see. Okay, step one, plumber's putty goes around the hole or the drain at top. We have friends coming over for dinner in not that long, and so I would like to finish this so we can have a nice downstairs bathroom, because our other downstairs bathroom is still behind the mold remediation wall. And I would like to take a shower before then too, so I don't stink. All right, Dean wants me to explain what I'm doing. So I've got my drain here. I put a little bead of plumber's putty around there. It's gonna go in the sink, like so. I think I need another extender piece. I feel like such an idiot. I am not going back to Lowe's. Except I think I am going back to Lowe's.
At this point in the project, I was ready to just be done with it, and now we were also on a time crunch.
It's so close. I'm like an inch off. I don't know if I can... Wait, how is that even supposed to attach? They're both...
I don't know, plumber extraordinaire.
What is this?
I tried out every combination I could with the parts I had, and I also watched a few YouTube videos, but in the end, I didn't have what I needed. So I took a picture of the plumbing so I could ask for help, and then headed off for yet another Lowe's trip.
All right, I'm going back to Lowe's.
A Lowe's trip, a Lowe's trip. Every single day it's a Lowe's trip.
But she didn't come back with the best news.
You got the right stuff?
No, the guy gave me the wrong size. This is like for a kitchen drain. Dang it. Okay, well, I'm gonna just use this because I think it'll work, and then I can go get the right size tomorrow. Just kidding, it doesn't work. I need a towel. Shoot. I thought maybe I could turn it on. Hey, but the rest of my plumbing's not leaking. That's good. Can I go one more time?
You want to go back to Lowe's?
No, but I'm going to.
A Lowe's trip, a Lowe's trip. Every single day it's a Lowe's trip.
And yet, for all these Lowe's trips, the struggles continued.
Success? No?
I don't know yet.
Time will tell.
I don't know if they sell the single piece that I need, and so I bought a whole new drain, and that way, if this doesn't work, then I can just install this drain until I figure it out. Get it out. You need tools to open the packaging. Okay, this is what I needed. Oh, are you serious?
Not it.
Plan B.
After several trips to Lowe's and hours of work, it was time for the moment of truth.
Okay, I'm about to test it out.
After all that work, I did have a working drain.
Working drain, just not the drain I want. Actually, just kidding.
But my water lines in the back started to leak for some reason. And so with friends arriving any minute, I decided to call it quits and call the professionals first thing in the morning.
All right, I just stole some curtains from our dining room. I had them doubled up on both sides like I like to do, so now I just have one panel on both sides because I wanted to see how it looks. And then maybe I'll get new ones for the dining room later if I like it. Oh my gosh, it's so fancy. Oh, I love it. I love it. Now I just gotta fix them, but oh, I'm so glad I did this. I kept looking at it and thinking, I just feel like it needs curtains, and I feel like the color is perfect. These aren't white. They look lighter because the paint is pretty dark, you know. Oh, it looks so good. I feel like it adds like a softness. It's definitely like an unexpected touch for a bathroom, but you can totally do curtains in your bathroom.
It's legal.
All right, so the plumbers left. They were here for almost 4 hours, and we've worked with these guys before. They do excellent work, so I know they know what they're doing, and this isn't a problem with them, but they could not get this faucet working after that long, and we think part of the problem is the faucet is not made in the US, and I think there's European threads, like the threads are different on it, and so we can't easily get replacement parts to see if there's like a little T-piece in the back that can come off, and it could be that the threading was damaged on that. They said if I buy another faucet, they will come back and install it for free, but they will not install this faucet. So I'm gonna run to a local plumbing store that has just a huge selection of fixtures and see if I can find something similar that I like that's made in the US so that we can get replacement parts. I'm a little bit surprised, I'm gonna be honest. I have never read a bad review about this brand. It's beautiful, the quality seems excellent, but the issue is if you're in the States, getting replacement parts is a little more challenging and you'll have to order them. You can't just get them here.
So that's that.
So that's that. I'm gonna have to find another faucet. It's kind of sad.
Shortly after the plumbers left, the glass company was ready to install the shower doors. After the shower door was installed, it was time to move on to the next step in getting this bathroom finished.
All right, I finally got the rest of the wallpaper in the mail, and I've held it up, and it looks like either it was the same batch, the same print batch, or the color is not different. Thank goodness. But you don't want to do what I do and not order enough wallpaper, because what can happen is you can get different batches that are printed at a different time, and the color can be slightly different, which would be really bad if you're trying to piece it together and finish up a room that you've already started. So order extra and return it if you need to, but don't do like I did. All right, the wallpaper is done. It looks so good.
After I finished installing the wallpaper, there were just a few finishing details to tackle. I ordered an unlacquered brass toilet paper holder, towel hook, and hardware so everything would match perfectly, and these are looking really fancy.
Prettiest toilet paper roll holder I've ever installed.
I measured and marked where I wanted my knobs to go, and then did the same for the latch that would go on the cabinet doors, and everything was going along smoothly until...
Oh no! Oh, that's not good. I just broke my screw.
I realized the pilot hole I drilled was too small, and so I ended up breaking off one of my small screws. But thankfully it was an easy fix, and all I did was move my latch up a little bit and drill new, larger pilot holes. And finally, several months after we started demo, this bathroom is finished. This project started because of an unexpected water leak which led to demoing part of the bathroom. And this renovation was full of ups and downs and unexpected delays, but in the end, I am absolutely in love with how it turned out.
Man, how amazing does this bathroom look? To me, it looks like something straight out of a magazine. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, I love how it turned out. That doesn't feel like a strong enough way to say that. And I feel like it really goes with our house. Like, yes, it's darker and it's moodier, but even when I had all the different selections out in our living room, I was like, oh, this like matches our house really well. It's just like a darker, moodier version of it, which is perfect for a little guest bathroom.
One of my favorite things is to look at the befores and then the afters and see how dramatic the transformation was. It is like a night and day difference.
It doesn't even look like the same room. Sometimes I forget that this is the same bathroom because it's so different.
I think one of the biggest things that makes it look so different is obviously the arch and the tile. It just looks incredible. It makes it feel like a completely different space.
I love the darker, moodier paint color with the wallpaper. It's just such a unique and fun touch that I feel like completely changed the feel of the space.
And man, I love poop in there.
We have actually been getting to use this bathroom because we still cannot get into our bedroom and bathroom. It's still taped off, and so we finished the shower like just in the nick of time because I didn't want to share with our kids.
So we'll keep you up to date on this ongoing saga of the mold and the remediation and the remodel that's happening on the other side of our house. But right now it's still not finished, and we're still sleeping in our office, and we've been out of our master bedroom for over a month now. But we'll let you know about that as it comes to pass. Thanks for coming along for the ride of this bathroom makeover, and we'll catch you in the next video for our next makeover.
I think I want to put curtains in here.
What?
Would that be weird or cool?
Curtains in a bathroom?
Well, I don't feel like that's weird. I kind of like that it's a little different. It's not like it's right by the toilet. I feel like that would be...
Then people probably use it for extra toilet paper or something.
A kid might, for real.
Oh, why hello there.
Found this. If I roll a 6, you subscribe right now.
No.
3, 2, 1, go.
Coffee.
Oh, dude, that was not even...
People are gonna think we edited
What?
that.
I did not edit that. I'm filming with a cell phone. I didn't edit that.
But did you hear what I said?
Are you
I said
kidding?
if you roll a 6, we go get coffee. That's what I said.
I don't believe that. You're gonna have to play back the replay. 2,
We're
1,
getting
go.
coffee.
Oh, you did, son of a monkey's uncle. Okay, are you just gonna stand in one position and shoot for
My
like 5
cameraman
minutes?
hasn't told me. It's been 3 minutes. My cameraman hasn't told me to move.
I mean, usually I'm just like moving everywhere, all around.
I'm taking a rest break. People are staring. I want to go hide in the car. 2 shots and a couple of finger shots. Gotta change things up a little bit, you know?
Oh, I get it. Is this like an Instagram photo booth? Is that what we're doing here? Here, put your face through it. Yes! Put that on the gram.
Right, I meant baseball.
Baseball?
Baseball, yeah. Ready?
I want to use this bathroom.
I can't wait to poop in this bathroom. Like, you know what I mean? So, big week this week. Got a bunch of stuff done. Had a bunch of crazy stuff going on. But it's our 16-year anniversary today as we're filming. Mm-hmm.
Our anniversary is May 30th.
Ooh, baby, I love you. I couldn't think of a good song.
We have been together now, if you count dating too, longer than we have not.
Whoa.
That's a long time.
We're getting old. Oh, man. Well, happy anniversary. I'll see you at dinner tonight, 6:30. Come dressed to impress.
Are we not driving together?
Well, we are, but get in that minivan ready to impress.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.